Namaste everyone, welcome back to CodeCraft with Poonam. I'm your coding mentor Poonam Agrawal. In this video, we are going to explore one of the most elegant and practical concepts in Java, that is inner classes. So, have you ever thought about creating a class inside another class? It might sound confusing at first, but it's actually a brilliant way to organize your code. So for your simple and better understanding, think of a restaurant, okay? So in restaurant, what do you have? You have a counter for the payment, right? And you receive the token. And you have a main kitchen where all the preparations is done, right? So by the end of this video, you will understand what inner classes are, why we use them, okay, and the different types of inner classes and how to implement them with real world examples, okay. So now coming back to inner classes, okay. So what is an inner class? So inner class, which is also known as nested class, okay. So it is a class defined inside another class. The inner class has access to all the members of the outer class, okay, including its private variables and methods. Okay, so coming back to our example, that is our restaurant, right? So we have a main restaurant, okay, where that so in Java that is nothing but your outer class, okay. So where we handle our customer orders, payments, and service, okay. So that counter is nothing but your outer class. Now coming to the inner class. So in this example, so inner class is nothing but it's a preparation station, okay, that is the kitchen that only the head chef and assistants use, right? So they use their own tools, recipes, and procedures, right? So in this preparation station, okay, that is kitchen of a restaurant, does not need its own storefront or cash register, right? It exists only to serve the main restaurant, right? As we are considering restaurant, right, for our example. So here that the counter, okay, which handles the customer orders, payments, and service, that is nothing but your outer class, right? And the kitchen in the restaurant, okay, that is preparation station, which is nothing but your inner class in Java, okay. Now, coming to why use inner class. Why? Because have logical grouping, encapsulation, access to outer class members, cleaner code, and maintainability. So what do you mean by logical grouping? It's nothing but grouping up the classes which is used together for the better organization. Okay. Encapsulation. Why? Because it hides all the implementation details for the security reasons. Okay, and you can access to outer class members, which means that you can access private members also of outer class for your flexibility. And due to this you will have a cleaner code which keeps all the related functionality together for the clarity purpose, okay. And it is easy to maintain also. Why? Because it has a smaller classes, right? So which is very easy to manage, okay. So now let's see this in our examples. So now coming to our example, that is for the member inner class. Okay, so here I'm considering an example of a restaurant. Okay, so here we have a public class, member inner class. Okay, inside this we are having the outer class as well as inner class, okay. So here you can see that here, as I told you, that restaurant, okay, where we have our counter, right? So this is that outer class, public static class, restaurant, okay. Here we have a private fields, okay, that is restaurant name and total orders, and we have a constructor for our this restaurant class, okay. So and then here we have inner class, okay, inside this class, okay, that is public class kitchen, okay. In this we have private fields, that is head chef and specialty, okay, and we have a constructor for this class. So now, so this inner class can access the private fields of the outer class, okay. And then here we have a method which is in our inner class. Okay, that is prepare method. So here in this method we are accessing the outer class variable, here total orders, okay, that we have given here in our outer class, right, which is a private field, right? So from inner class method, okay, we can access the outer class variables, okay, and then we are printing out this chef, restaurant name, dish, and the total number of orders, okay, and then we are having a method which is used to display the specialty, okay, of the restaurant. Here we have a main method. So first what we need to do is, first we need to create an instance for the outer class. So our outer class is nothing but restaurant, right? So here we are creating a instance for the outer class, okay. Here you can see, and here we are giving parameter, okay, that is name, okay, chef Poonam's kitchen. And then next step we need to do is, we need to create the inner class instance using the outer instance, okay, this one. First step is we need to create the outer instance, outer class instance, and next step we need to create an inner class instance using this outer class instance, okay. So for that, here restaurant dot kitchen, okay, here this kitchen is nothing but our inner class, restaurant is nothing but outer class, so outer class dot inner class. Here we have created the instance that is equal to my restaurant, here this one, this is the outer class instance, right? So my restaurant dot new kitchen, okay, so this is your inner class, right? And then here you are giving the parameters. Okay, and then using this, okay, we have created the instance, right? This one, kitchen. Using this, we are going to call the display specialty method. Okay, so the first syntax to create a instance is this one, outer instance dot new inner class. Okay, this one. So and then here we are calling the methods, okay, here we are calling the method by passing different parameters, okay. So now we will run this. So here, coming to our main method, this got executed, memory node, okay, and this is the step one, creating restaurant, this one got executed, okay. So now what we are doing, and then this one got executed, okay. And then step 2, this one got executed, creating kitchen inner class, okay. And then here this statement got executed, okay, kitchen created, okay. First we have created the outer class, then we have created the instance for the inner class, okay, and then using that we are calling a display specialty method, okay. So this statement got executed. Third step, here you can see using kitchen methods. Okay, now we are going to call this method display specialty here. So here whatever the parameters you have given will be printed. Okay, so here you can see kitchen specialty, that is Indian biryani, and this one restaurant name is Chef's Poonam Kitchen. Okay, and then next is this one. Okay, we are calling this kitchen dot prepare method, and we are passing this one Hyderabadi biryani, and then when again you are calling, you are passing this paneer tikka, and then when again you are calling this method, you are passing this dal makhni. Okay, so here you can see this one, here dish you passed, right, Hyderabadi biryani, this one. So here you can see that chef, head chef is nothing but your Chef's Poonam Kitchen, here you have mentioned, right? So here you have mentioned, right, Chef's Poonam Kitchen, you have passed this parameter, right? So here you can see Chef's Poonam is preparing Hyderabadi biryani, okay, at restaurant at Chef's Poonam Kitchen. This is the order number, total number order is, that is 1, okay. Okay, first, and then this will increment to 2. Okay, when you call next time. So this got executed, right? Now again we are calling the same method by giving different parameter. Okay, so here you can see this one. Now we are giving this paneer tikka, right? This one. Okay, as it got incremented to 2, right? So here you can see chef, this one. Poonam is preparing paneer tikka at restaurant same name at Chef Poonam's kitchen, and this is the order number 2. Okay, and then it will increment to 3. Okay, and then when again you try to call the same method by passing different parameter, say this one same, as it is now incremented to 3, right? So Chef Poonam is preparing dal makhani at Chef Poonam kitchen. This is order number 3. Okay, so you can see how we are accessing this outer class variable from the inner class method. Okay, so now coming to some important points. Okay, so for the member inner class, you can, in inner class you can access the private fields like I have shown you this total orders, right? In the member inner class, it is mandatory to have an outer class instance. Okay, so for that syntax is this one, restaurant dot new kitchen. That means outer class instance dot new inner class. Okay, so here each kitchen, so in this what I meant to show you that each kitchen is tied to one restaurant. Okay, so here what I mean to show you that inner class needs outer class instance. Okay, so now coming to another example. So now coming to another inner class, that is static inner class. Okay, so here the static inner class is defined with the static keyword. So here it cannot access non-static members of the outer class, but it does not require an instance of the outer class to be created, right? Why? Because here we are using static. Whereas in member inner class, we need to create an instance for the outer class for inner class, right? But as here we are using static here, static inner class, right? So that's why here it does not require an instance of the outer class to be created. Okay, so here we have example that is static inner class. Same, yeah, I'm taking here restaurant example. Okay, so here this is our outer class. Here you can see that here we are having a field that is static final. Okay, this one, which means that I want to share this. Okay, I want to share this. That is Poonam's Food Empire, the company name. Okay, that's why I have made it as static final. Okay, so here we have a constructor for our this restaurant class. Okay, and then here this is our inner class, that is menu item. Okay, which is having a private fields, and here we have a constructor. Okay, and then here we have a display method. Okay, and then we have different methods, that is here we have a display info method, display quick info, apply discount. Okay, and then here we have getter methods. Okay, and then this is our main method where we are creating a menu items. Okay, here you can see restaurant dot menu item, that is biryani equal to new restaurant dot menu item. So here what we are doing is we are creating a menu items, right? Here we are giving the parameters name, price, type, cuisine. Okay, so here we don't need a outer instance, outer class instance. Okay, that is restaurant. Here we are creating only for our inner class, that is menu item. Okay, see here this one menu item is our inner class, right? We are not creating an instance for our outer class, this one restaurant. Okay, So here you can see restaurant dot menu item biryani equal to new restaurant dot menu item. Okay, and then here we are creating different menu items, that is menu item instance. Okay, that is biryani, paneer, kheer. Okay, and then here we are displaying the menu. Okay, for the biryani, okay, for the paneer and for the kheer. Okay, and then what we are doing here is we are showing the prices with the discounts. Okay, so here this is our original prices for biryani dot display quick info. Okay, and then same with paneer and kheer. Okay, and then here what we are doing, we are applying discount on our original price. Okay, for each of the instance, that is biryani, paneer and kheer. Okay, so now we will run this. So now you can see our main method. Okay, so this got executed. Okay, and then this one creating menu item without restaurant instance. Okay, so here step one, this one creating menu items created. Okay, this one, we have created all this. For the each of the menu item we have created an instance. Okay, so here you can see that we have not created any instance for our order class, that is restaurant. Okay, so here after that we are displaying the full menu of each of, for each of the item. Okay, so that is biryani dot display info. So you can see this here, what are the parameters we have passed, it will be get displayed here. Okay, so here you can see the displaying the full menu. So we have given Hyderabadi biryani, right? So you can see here Hyderabadi biryani, price is 350 rupees, type is main course, cuisine is Hyderabadi, and from company which is not, which is our static and final, right? So here you can see that Poonam's food empires. Okay, this is our static field, right? So we can access a static member. Okay, from a static inner class method. Okay, and then we are calling this method display info for this paneer. Okay, so same with this also. Here you can see we have provided paneer tikka. Okay, and price is 250, type starter, cuisine Indian, and from, you can see this didn't got changed, company same company, food, Poonam's food empire, right? So we are accessing this company which is nothing but static. Okay, we are calling it from, we are accessing it, this static member, that is company, from static inner class method. Okay, so similar with this another instance. Okay, we have created key dot display info. Okay, and then here we are showing the pricing. Okay, this is our original ones, and later on we are applying discounts. So first we'll see the original prices for the biryani. Okay, in this method we have provided the details. Okay, so biryani dot display quick info. So here you can see that is original price. Here you can see that Hyderabadi biryani. Okay, for that is price is 350 rupees. Okay, which it is of main course. Okay, and similar with other items. And then here we are applying discount on the original price. Okay, so here you can see that after 10% discount on biryani, original price was 350, so 10%. So this is our original price, biryani dot get price. Okay, so we got this rupees 350. Here you can see we have provided getter method, right? So this returns the price, and get name, this returns the name. And then here Next, we are applying discount on the original. Okay, that is biryani dot apply discount. We have created a method apply discount, right? And here we are passing the parameter that is 10. So here you can see here. So here it calculated the discount. Okay, and then here we got all the statements got executed here. Okay, so here you can see that this one. So here, after 10% discount on biryani, original rupees is 350. Okay, and then after the calculation we got that after discount rupees is 315 rupees. Okay, so similar with other menu item, that is paneer and kheer. Okay, so here in static inner class, here you have not created any instance for the outer class, right? That is our restaurant, because here we are using the static keyword, right? So the syntax for that is restaurant dot menu item, which means outer class dot inner outer class name dot inner class name. Okay, whereas in member inner class we have used this one, right? The instance outer class instance dot new dot inner class name, right? We have used this one for the member inner class, but in static inner class we are using only this one, that is outer class name dot inner class name. Okay, and here as you have seen that that from the display info. Okay, so we have access to the static member, right? So from a static inner class we can access only the static members. You cannot access non-static members. Okay, that is this one, that is this one. Okay, private string restaurant name, you cannot access this one. Okay, so what will happen if you try to access non-static member? Okay, we will try this. Okay, okay, so here when you try to access this non-static field from a static inner class, see what will happen here. Now you see, run this. See, you will get a compile time error, that is cannot make a static reference to the non-static field restaurant name. Okay, so here you are getting the compile time error. So it will not allow. Java will not allow. Okay. Okay, so you can access only static members, and this is the most common type of the inner class. Okay, that is static inner class, which is perfect for utility or helper classes. Okay, now let's see another type of the inner class. So now coming to local inner class. So here local inner class is defined inside a method of the outer class. Okay, so it has access to local variables of that method if they are final or effectively final. Okay, so now coming to our local inner class, here I'm considering an example of a meal planner. Okay, so here we have a class meal planner. In this we have a private fields, that is planner name and restaurant name, and we have a constructor for meal planner. Okay, and then inside this class we have a method that is plan weekly meals. Okay, inside this method we have local variables. Okay, why local variables? Because this is within a method. Okay, this is not outside the method, that's why this is a local variables. Okay, so this must be final or effectively final. Okay, that means this. Okay, so, and then here we have inside this method we have a class, that is our inner class, local inner class. Okay, so here we have this private fields, okay, meal for the day, and we have a constructor, and here we have a display meals. Okay, here you can see that this is within our meals for the day. This is local inner class. Within this we are having this method, okay, which is used to display all the meals. Okay, so here this method, here you can see, as this class meal for the day is within this method, right? So this is local inner class. Okay, so once the job is done with this method, then we cannot reuse this class. Okay, so here we inside this class we are having another method, right? That is display meal. So this can access only the local variables and outer class members. Okay, and then we have another method, that is display quick, and then here we have a getter methods. So here now we are creating an instances for our local inner class, right? Meal for the day, which we have created inside the method, right? And then here we are displaying the meals, okay, for each of these instance. And then here we have another method, okay, that is plan special dinner, okay, which is with a different local class. Here before we had a method, this one, plan weekly meals, right? In this we have a local inner class, that is meals for the day, right? So now again we have another method, that is plan special dinner. Inside this we are having another local method, local inner class, that is special menu. Okay, so this is related to the dinner. Okay, and then here we are having this local variables. Okay, and then this constructor special menu, and then display menu. This is mainly for this dinner. Okay, and then here we are creating instance for the each of this special menu. Okay, and then we are displaying. So here is our main method. Okay, here we have created the instance for our meal planner. Okay, this is our class, right? So this is our class, right? Outer class, meal planner. So now in the main method, we are creating an instance for the outer class. Okay. And then here we are giving the parameters. And then here we are calling this method, okay, plan weekly meals. Okay. For this planner instance. Okay. And then we are calling a plan special dinner method. Okay, as we have created this outer class instance, right? Using this we are calling plan special dinner method and plan weekly meals. Okay, so now we will run this. So here you can see in our main method, this is our main method, right? So this got executed, local inner class, then weekly, then this one we have created, okay, instance for the outer class. Using that instance we are calling this plan weekly method. Okay, so here you can see now, coming to this method, here we have local inner class, right? So here you can see we have created the instances for each day. Okay, we have created each day. Okay, and then here see display meals. Okay, here this detailed view, this statement got executed. Here you can see detailed view. Okay, and then we have created an instance, right, Monday. So now we are calling this display meal. Okay, so you can see this here. So here first week, okay, this is week 1 Monday. Okay, for Monday, we have provided all these details, right? So all this statement got executed. That is week 1 Monday meal, Hyderabadi biryani, preparation time 45 minutes, main ingredient basmati rice, planner chef Poonam, restaurant Taste of India restaurant, right? And then here you can see we have created instances, right, for each day. So here next, okay, this statement got executed. Now this one, we are calling display meal for Tuesday. Okay, so here you can see. So what are the details here we provided? Okay, what are the parameters we have given here is executed. So for Tuesday we have given day Tuesday meal dal makhani, minutes 30 minutes, ingredients black dal. Okay, so here you can see all these details, okay, got executed when you call this display meal method. Okay, so similar with rest of the weeks. Okay, and then okay, all this one will get executed one by one. Okay, so after this what will happen, it will come out from this method. Okay, this is local inner class within this method, right? Plan weekly meals. And then here we have another method, that is plan special dinner. Okay, for the outer class instance, that is planner. Okay, so similar with this also. See, here we have another method, right? But here we have different variables, right, which is also nothing but final. Okay, and here we have different local inner classes. Okay, so here you can see we have created special menu instances for starters, for main and dessert, and we have provided the parameters, right? And then we are displaying the menu for the starter, for the main and dessert. So one by one this will get executed. After executing this, it will come out of this class. Okay, that is special menu. This is local inner class. Within this plan special dinner. Okay, after executing this class, it will come out of this class and then it will come out from this method. Okay, so what here I meant to show you is that, so this local inner scope is only within this method. Okay, so once it is once the method is done, so this class is not reused. Okay, so here you can see that special dinner. Okay, here we have starter, display menu. Here we have provided this okay, all the parameters, and we are calling starter dot display menu. So here it all got executed. Okay, you can see that is event type is special dinner and the course is starter. Okay, dishes paneer tikka, cost per person is 200 rupees and total number of guests 8. Okay, and the total cost is 1600. Okay, and similar with other display menu items. Okay, other display menu, that is for the main and dessert. And then here you can see. Okay, so here you have seen that is two different inner classes, right, which is defined inside the two different methods, right? So only that is only accessible within the method. Okay, that local inner class is accessible only within that method, and it can access final or effectively final variables. So in this you cannot have an access modifier because here Java will not allow the access modifiers. Okay, so and also it cannot have a static members. So this is mainly, this local inner class is mainly used for a methods specific functionalities. Okay. So now we will see another type of inner class. Okay. So now coming to anonymous inner class. So for your simple and better understanding, consider yourself giving a quick instruction to your assistant. Okay. So in Java, anonymous inner class is nothing but it is a local inner class without a name. So it is mainly used to create a one-time use class that is usually implementing an interface or extending a class. Okay. So here I am considering an example of cooking. So here we are going to cook, that is paneer tikka masala and samosa. Okay. So here we will be having two anonymous inner class. So this is our class. Okay. Public class, anonymous inner class. So here I have created this public interface, that is cooking. Okay. So in this we have only one method, that is void cook. So here we have a main method, okay, and then here I am creating an instance for this cooking, which is nothing but our interface right here. So that is here paneer, for paneer, okay. So cooking paneer is equals to new cooking, and here you can see that this brace is open and then we are implementing that cook method. So here we are not providing any class name, okay. Directly we are opening this braces and implementing this method. So this is nothing but anonymous inner class, okay. So this implementation is specific to our paneer, okay, that is paneer tikka masala, okay. And then here we have an another class, inner class, okay. And then here we have an another anonymous inner class, here you can see, that is for samosa, okay. Here also we are using that same method, okay, and implementing it with respect to the samosa, okay. So now we will run this. So here you can see our main method, this statement got executed, right? Here you can see, okay. And then as we have created here anonymous inner class, that is for paneer tikka masala, okay. And then we are calling cook method for this paneer, okay. So this statement will get executed here, okay. That is making paneer tikka masala, cutting paneer into cubes, marinating in yogurt and spices, making creamy tomato base, okay. And then here we have an another anonymous inner class, okay. So we are calling cook method for samosa, okay. So here this set of instructions will get executed. Making crispy samosas, boiling and mashing potatoes, adding peas and spices, wrapping in pastry sheets, okay. So here you can see that we have one interface, that is cooking, with only one method, right? But here we are implementing that method in our anonymous inner class in different ways. Like here we have an anonymous inner class for this paneer, right? So this set of statements is based on, it is with respect to paneer, okay. And then here we have another anonymous inner class, which is where we have set of statements with respect to samosa, okay. So one method can be implemented in different ways, right? So here, when to use this anonymous inner class? When you need a class only once, okay, and you don't want to create a separate .java file, and it is mainly used for the quick implementation for simple task, okay. Just like you're hiring a instant helper, that is your instant cook or instant chef, okay, instead of hiring a permanent cook or chef, okay. So the main benefits of using this anonymous inner class is it is more readable because it is short and focused, right? And it is perfect for simple and one-time use cases. So you need to avoid this when your logic is complex. So then you need to go for the named inner class. Okay. And you need to avoid this when you will use it in multiple places, okay. So for that you need to make a separate classes rather than going with this anonymous inner class, okay. Coming to which type of inner class to be used, as you have seen there are four types of inner classes, right? You have to use it depending upon the requirement, okay. So when to use anonymous inner class, you can use anonymous inner class when there is a need of one-time implementation. Okay. So coming to local inner class, it is defined within a method which has a limited scope. Okay. Next, coming to static inner class, this does not require any outer class instance. Why? Because this is static, right? So wherever you don't require the instance of the outer class, then you can go for the static inner class. Next, coming to member inner class, when can you can use it is if you need to access outer class members directly. Okay, then you can go for the member inner class. So this is for today's video. If you liked my teaching, then do let me know through comment and hit the like button and share it with your circle so that it will be helpful to them. And do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you will not miss any of my videos. Till then, keep learning, keep growing. This is Poonam Agrawal from CodeCraft with Poonam signing off.